Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Books I Read with My Cat. We're on episode 12, my favorite number. This is Allison,
I'm Val.
And I'm Courtney.
and I am so excited about this week's episode because we are going to be talking about some beachy, vacation-y, fun in the sun reads. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about what tea we're drinking. So what y'all partaking in tonight?
You'll never guess.
Is it your
It's Dragon
favorite?
Dream. It's Dragon Dream.
Of course. That's what you're always drinking.
I'm doing hot. I know it's the middle of the summer, but I'm gonna do it hot today.
Hot?
Doing it
Hot.
hot today.
I also have hot tea, so I can't
Hot.
say much.
Too hot to try.
You know, hold on. I have a tangent. I do.
Okay.
Okay, so we are all Floridians.
Mhm.
I hate it when a northerner criticizes us for ordering soup or hot tea or something like that's in any month other than December because they're like, oh my god, I don't know how you can drink that when it's so hot outside. Excuse me. When else are we supposed to drink it? Because
It's
it's
always
only
hot.
cold in December. Like that's it. Then I
It's
can't
true.
only drink it for 2 weeks out of the year.
That's true.
Not even. It's like maybe 3 days.
Yeah. So their logic is not valid for this state.
This winter we did have like a couple weeks where it was a little chilly.
We did.
But yes, in general, yes. No, I give me a good soup any time of the day. Any time of year.
I love soup.
I love soup.
Because, air conditioning is cold. It's fine. I don't want to eat soup when I'm outside in the sun. That's just silly.
Yeah.
The sun's keeping it warm for you.
It's the natural warming tray.
Yeah.
One of those the heat lamp at the restaurant.
It's a heat lamp at the restaurant, but it's the sun outside.
It's the sun. All right,
That's amazing.
Allison.
What's your soup song, Allison?
Oh, you heard me?
I did. I'm not letting that go.
Whenever we make soup, I don't know why I'm doing this. I go soup that is. Soup
Oh.
that is.
Heard that before from you.
I'm like, I feel like one of you must have heard this at some point. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
so,
I normally
yeah.
I have soup for lunch a lot just because it's like easy to warm up. Because I work from home, whatever, it's easy. So sometimes I'll just start chanting soup at my partner when it's lunchtime.
and yep. Not can I have some soup, please? It's
No.
soup.
Soup.
Love it. That is amazing.
Yep.
All right, Allison. We got off topic. What are you drinking?
I am drinking some lovely Publix sweet tea.
Ayo,
That is my
Publix.
favorite sweet tea. Shout out to Publix. No.
Striker from the
I love their
record.
sweet tea. Yeah.
No, don't strike it from the record. because
Don't
let's
strike
not-
it.
Spoiler alert, Publix is going to be mentioned in this episode other than right now.
Oh, really?
It will be. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Well,
yeah, that's what,
Yum, yum.
I too am drinking hot tea. I'm joining Courtney in the hot tea club. I have some Zen green tea.
Nice.
Yeah. Little caffeine. And I also have an Oreo flavored Coke. 0.
Oh,
wait, what? That sounds terrible. No offense.
It's delicious. It's just
Oreo
like
flavored
more.
Coke.
Yes. To me, it tastes like a more vanilla-y vanilla Coke. No one else that has tried it likes it, but I do.
That's because you're a Drink Goblin.
Yeah, I am a Drink Goblin. It's fine. But
Amazing.
It's because
Yeah.
they did the thing where they did Oreo flavored Coke and then Coke flavored Oreos, correct?
They did, yes. The Coke flavored Oreos were not bad either.
Savages.
You didn't even
all
try
of them.
one.
That does not sound appealing. I'm sorry.
They were. I liked
I'm
them.
so sorry.
I like the Coke better than I like the Oreo, though.
I can see
I
that.
feel like it should be flipped, but okay. I'll roll with it. I guess I can't
They
knock it till I try it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even still in stores, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure I got this Coke flavored Oreo. No, yeah, the Coke flavored Oreo and the Oreo flavored Coke like last summer, almost a year ago.
No. I think I was
Yeah.
at my current store.
You've been savoring
Was
it.
it?
Oh, maybe it was like fall.
It was probably like September, maybe August of last
Which
year.
is also, I guess, summer in Florida terms, so,
Yeah. Yeah. But like the soda doesn't expire, but the Oreos certainly did. They did went
Yes,
stale.
yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm drinking. And of course, I got water. I got three drinks.
You
from
have
the Drink
3
Goblin
drinks. Oh
song.
my gosh.
My God.
I always have water. Water is just a
You
silent drinker that I
maniac.
have all the time.
You know, I usually have it too when we record, and I actually don't this time, so kind of
Drink
surprised.
Goblin needs 3 drinks at a time. One for pleasure, one for caffeine, one to stay hydrated.
That,
No?
oh my gosh.
Is that the
No?
Goblin
Absolutely
video?
beautiful. I have never
You've
heard
never
that before.
You've never heard the Drink Goblin song?
I have never heard that.
Well then.
And that is gonna become a new thing.
It was like 3 years late. I sent it to her 3 years late. Like, she had already seen it 3 years ago.
Yes. Yeah, Drink Goblin is not a new thing by any means.
It's
It's
not a
like
new thing.
2021 vibes. Yeah.
I'll need to look that up then.
You will. I will send you a video.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and change it up a little bit for this episode. We decided that we wanted to, instead of doing 5-star, we're gonna do some honorable mentions. So some books that were so close to making it to 5 stars, but didn't quite get their time to shine. Who would like to go first with their honorable mention?
I can go first.
Do it.
Yeah, Courtney.
Do it.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah. So I have one, and it's because this is the one I've read this year that I haven't really talked about a lot on the podcast, but I did rate it a 4.75 on my story graph.
Mm-hmm.
It's called North is the Night by Emily Rath. So she's actually known for like hockey romances, but then she came out with this book, and I think it's technically fantasy that's set in like a historical Finland era, like
Mhm.
way back when Christianity was being introduced to Finland. And but it taught me a lot about Finnish mythology, and the book is really good. It is also an LGBTQIA, and it has Snow Queen vibes where one of the friends is taken, and then the other one has to go on a journey to rescue her friend from the witch.
Mhm.
But like I said, you learn a lot about the Finnish mythology because that's something like I'm not familiar with. Like all these countries like have their own set of gods.
Mhm.
Maybe it falls
Mhm.
under
Yeah.
Scandinavia, but like Russia has their own set of gods. Scandinavia does. Ireland, the Celtic Isles do, and then we're familiar with the Greek and Roman ones.
Mhm.
It's crazy, but also like there's so many similarities with like their underworld, which like in the Finnish mythology, you have to cross a river in order to get into the underworld, which is just like the Greek one, and it's really interesting, like seeing like how all these mythologies connect somehow.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good book.
It
Yeah, ooh,
does.
Allison, you'll love this because the audiobook it has excellent voice casting because one of them is the voice actress for Fourth Wing, Kaya
Ooh.
Freites.
Yeah.
And so it's like she's probably the most professional voice actress I have heard in an audiobook so far. It is very good. The other one is excellent too, but you could just tell like she's a professional. Um, it's really good, especially like for anybody who isn't like is like kind of like, I don't know about audiobooks because it really depends on the narrator for me. Recommend this one. This one's great.
Nice.
Good to know. I
Um,
love it when you have a good audio narrator. So
yeah, it's really
it
good.
just makes it.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it really does. Um, this book is actually gonna have a book 2, but the weird thing is this one is also a thick one. So like this one could have been separated into 2 books, but it didn't. And I'm like, all right, yes, no cliffhanger, love it. It wraps up nicely. If like the book 2 never came out, I wouldn't have known. But I could see like where there's like some like the less important stuff never got tied up, but that's what's gonna be in like the plot points for book 2.
Mhm. That makes
Um,
sense.
I like it.
just so like our listeners know that this book does paint Christians and Christianity in a villainous light because of it's during the Crusade era. They were very, not everything in Christian history is nice. and good.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
a lot of people like need to realize this. So if you're someone who is unable to acknowledge this, you will not like this book.
Fair.
Just
I
gonna
like
flat
that
out say it.
forewarning. I think it's very fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good forewarning. Because I imagine going into that kind of and it hits you like blindsided, you're like, oh, all right.
Right. It's like, yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's on the back flap. I think they might mention that Christianity is moving in and the pagan gods are falling away, but it really like there is a big like moral battle between like pagan like lifestyle and Christianity.
Mhm. Nice.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that's
it.
my honorable mention. I really did love this book. I can't wait for the next one to come out. I can't even put it on my TBR yet because it's like that new. So
Wow.
Oh, does it not have a name or anything?
no, nothing. It's not even technically listed. It's
Wow.
just there is like when books are announced, it gets posted on Publishers Marketplace, and that's where
Yeah.
it's like, yep, this would be a part of a duology. Yeah, that's how people know.
Like it's happening,
Especially
but
yeah. This is the intention. This is what the book got sold as. It's just
yeah,
we're releasing book 1, and we're in the
Mhm.
process of releasing book 1. So yeah, that's how a
I
little
like
bit
it.
publishing industry works.
Yeah. Allie, do you have any honorable mentions?
I do. This one is called Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Um, it's it's a it's a fantasy series. I can't really call it high fantasy. Um, but it's like there's dark magic, the slave is fighting for justice. Um, I don't know. It's been a little bit, but I remember absolutely loving this story. And she's like just trying to save her best friend, and she goes and she finds out she has, of course, yeah, as the stories go, she finds out she has this magic and she can help save the world. Um,
So
it follows kind of that trope. Um,
Mhm.
but there's like some cryptic stuff. There's a lot of like, do I really trust the people who are in power? Um, all that jazz. And I really enjoyed this story. I have it's a trilogy, I believe. I have read the first and second book, but I haven't read the third one just yet. But I've really enjoyed them so far. I gave them a 4.0, so I'm pulling from one of my slightly lower, but I still want to like mention it because it was a
yeah,
very
it's a
good
good
story.
book. It's a
There
good
was
book.
just some, yeah, there was the only reason it got like a 4 point was there's just some choices that I was like, okay, well, a little bit predictable for me. But if you don't
Mhm.
mind that kind of
Mhm.
thing, go give it a shot because it's really good storytelling. I like this author too. She has some good books, so that's my honorable mention.
Nice.
Okay.
It's really good. This author too is very good.
Nice. I technically have 4 books, but 3 of them are in a series.
Okay. Fair.
Okay,
Fair.
I get it.
So the series is Thrawn. So it's Star
Wait,
Wars Thrawn.
I knew it.
So this is a 3-book trilogy about Thrawn. He is a Chiss, which is like a different species, not quite human. He's a little bit like taller and lankier than like a typical human, and also he's blue. So he very much stands out from the rest of like the Empire. It's just like following his time through the Empire. It predates, if you ever watched the Ahsoka TV show, these books predate or like kind of like a prequel to him being in the Ahsoka TV show.
Mm.
Um, so it's like him getting into the academy, not really growing up, but like climbing the ranks and how he eventually becomes like a general, and then whatever the one higher of a general is in the Star Wars universe, I forget what it's called. They all have crazy names, but you know.
Yep.
So it was a really, really good 3-book series. They're all I read or I listened to the audiobooks. And those books are by Timothy Zahn is the author, and then the narrator is Mark Thompson. So again, really great narrator, really great writing. These audiobooks are also kind of like majority of the Star Wars books that I've listened to. They have like the Star Wars like sound effects and stuff like that. So there's like lightsaber noises and like blaster noises and all that fun stuff. And like You know, like the
Ooh.
doors closing noise, like the shoo.
Love it.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
it's very fun. And then also in the Star Wars universe, my second book or fourth book, I don't know, however you want to look at it, is actually the Ahsoka book. And that was written by E.K. Johnston and was narrated by Ashley Eckstein. Ashley Eckstein is the voice actor for Ahsoka in the animated series. So she was in Clone Wars and she was in Rebels. So Ashley voice acted Ahsoka. So it felt like very true to the character because Ashley had been voice acting for, I don't know, 7-8 years as Ahsoka. So she really embodied E.K. Johnston's writing of this book. So the Ahsoka book takes place after she leaves the Empire, so after Order 66. A lot of Star Wars spoilers if you care, but you know, Star Wars is old at this point. So this
You
takes
right?
place after Order 66, where, you know, all of the clones.
Jedi is wiped out.
Yeah, the Jedi are wiped out. The clones are killing all the Jedi, and so Ahsoka was hiding, in hiding, you know, and the Rebel Alliance hasn't really like formed yet. So she's kind of out on her own, trying to find people that will help her. A lot of the book takes place on Coruscant, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've read it. But she gets involved with a rebel operative named Fulcrum. It's a really fun book, and I really like it. So both of these books kind of take place simultaneously in like the Star Wars timeline, but I liked both of them. I read them pretty much back to back. I read the Ahsoka book first, and then I read the 3-book Thrawn series, and then there's also a second Thrawn series that's a prequel, but I'm not talking about that right now.
All those sound really good. I kind of want to put those on my TBR.
Do it.
I was just doing that as you were talking.
You guys
So,
don't want to know how many I have on my TBR right now.
oh no, what's your TBR up to?
102.
Oh my god.
I know.
I think I'm actually doing good for the moment. Let's see, what is my TBR at? I think it's going down. Maybe not. Oh, it's at 89.
And the thing is, I've like annihilated like some like books through it. Like I've just been bam, bam, bam reading books in like 5 days, and I've just been putting more on.
Yeah.
I have
Rip.
47.
Dang.
Man.
Yeah.
How's it feel to only have 47?
I mean, I've gone up from 19 since we've started this, so I mean,
Fair.
you
I think I
know,
started the year at like 75 and now I'm at 89. So, you know,
Yeah,
it's fine.
it's fine.
She'll get rid eventually.
Yep.
eventually, yeah.
I've purchased more of the ones that I actually have on my list.
That's good.
Like I had them on my list from you guys, and then when we had our the indie lit day, I bought more. So or I bought them so I could read them.
Nice.
So you know, it's progress.
Yeah, that is
Getting there.
definitely progress. So, yeah. Sorry I talked about Star Wars at you for a long time.
You don't need to apologize for
good.
that. We love it.
We do. We are Star Wars
You're-
fans for sure.
We are.
We should do
So-
a Star Wars episode.
We could.
Okay, hold on though.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have to read some books first because it's a book podcast.
However,
Catch up. I've read like
However.
15 Star Wars books.
does fan fiction count?
I'll allow it.
So, you know.
I'll allow it. Are you talking about that fan fiction with Kylo Ren and
Right?
Right, yeah. I could only think of the
Hurricane
actor's name, Daisy Ridley.
No, I'm talking about one that's actually on
That's actually
what's
that's
that
actually
website?
fan fiction.
Yeah.
Wattpad.
Yeah. Not Wattpad, the other one. AO3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I've discovered.
When we were watching or we were at the Southwest Florida Book Festival, wasn't Allie Hazelwood and Julie Soto talking about some fan fiction between Kylo and Rey?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how they started. I mean, it's not one in particular, it's just in general.
Yeah, that's how they started, was with fan fiction, like writing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, it's all good. Um, so yeah, those are our honorable mentions. And so now we're gonna move on to our topic of the week. You ready?
Topic of the week.
week.
And with it being with it being summertime, we decided we were gonna go with some beachy vacation vibe reads, something you might enjoy by the water, by the pool, on a cruise, on a boat, floating
In Europe,
around, whatever you want. In
on the
Europe, at Disney,
Mediterranean, under a cabana.
In your
the
house because it's
Maldives,
hot.
Yeah,
or in your house because it's hot. Yes,
with your cat.
that as well,
Yep, on your
with the
couch with your
cat,
cat, in bed with the cat,
all
on
of
the
which
back porch
sound
with the cat.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the places.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Who would like to go first with their vacation suggestion? Vacation read.
I'll go
Yeah.
first.
Ooh, she's
Yeah.
ready. What is it?
I don't. So my first one
Yeah.
is The Spellshop by Beth Durst.
Ooh,
I've talked about this a couple episodes ago. And this one's just a really cozy read. It's about a girl that's returning back to her home because the emperor was getting rid of magic and he was burning down the magical library, and she was a librarian at the magical library, and so she was returning to her childhood home with her spider plant cats.
yes,
So
that's
she
right.
had to hide that she is magical and knows magic because, the Emperor doesn't like magic, was trying to get rid of magic. And so it's just a cozy little story about bringing her childhood home back to life and slowly bringing back magic to her little island home.
That one's still on my
Whenever
TBR.
you mention that, I'm like, I want to read that.
I
It's
Every
so
know.
time.
good, so cozy. And sure, it could be like a cozy fall read, but I imagine it'd be pretty good on a beach or something in a cabana
Yeah.
by the pool.
I feel like anything that's like easygoing is a great vacation read. Something that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't wanna be deep in like a lore book trying to remember names and places, and you don't want to read the Stormlight Archive on a boat. There's too
No.
many things going on.
I
mean, you
tried it
can.
once. It doesn't work.
You can take it from us, folks. Allie tried it.
And I was not successful.
So that's my first book.
Nice.
I shall read that eventually.
One day.
Do it.
One day soon. Well,
Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and take over for mine.
do it.
Sorry, Courtney. I beat you to it.
You did. You
Um,
did. I was like, do you want to go? Do I want to go? Do I do it?
Who wants to go? So I'm gonna take over with The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. It's a cute, fluffy read. It's that typical two enemies to lovers story. And this one is like they're the bridesmaid, like the maid of honor, and the what do you call him?
Best
The
man?
guy of honor. The best man.
Guy of
Um,
honor.
The guy of
the
honor.
guy
I
of
love it.
honor.
Love it.
Well, basically, like the whole setup of the book is her sister's getting married, and the best man, they have like an enemy. They're like the enemies, right? And everyone gets food poisoning at the wedding, so except for the best man and the maid of honor, and they already have this all expenses paid trip to Hawaii, planned, and there's no refund on this, so they're like, you two should go on this trip, right? Yeah, it's one of those uh type stories, and it's just so
Forced
cute.
proximity. That's what that
Forced
trope is called.
proximity, it's all the tropes. Forced proximity, enemies to lovers, romantic getaway that has like the massages and like all the cute whatever. It's just a really fun read. I think I did read this over summer actually. It's a quick read if you
Let
want.
me
It
guess.
could be. What?
There's only one bed.
Yes. I had to think for a second. I was like, wait, because I think they're in like the honeymoon suite, I want to say.
Yeah, they're
There
in the
is only
honeymoon
one
suite.
bed.
There's only ever one bed in the
There
honeymoon suite. There might be like
Yeah,
there's
a
only
but
couch or
one
something.
bed.
there's also a couch. So yes, one sleeps on the couch and all that. It's a very cute read. And of course, they fall in love and blah blah blah. That's not giving anything away because it's a romantic book.
Yes. We all know
But
that's what's
there's
gonna
of course
happen.
all
Yeah.
of the trials and tribulations that you have with it. So it's a lot of
Mhm.
fun. So
That's fine.
I love
That's
this
cute.
author, Christina. Well, I guess authors because it's two authors that work together.
Correct.
Um,
They are a
they're amazing.
duo.
The co-authors, Christina, Lauren. So that's one of my vacation reads, the Unhoneymooners. So yeah,
Nice.
I like
Cute.
it.
What about you, Courtney?
Well, I gotta do one quick mention that I've already talked about a million times.
Okay.
One is If It Makes You Happy by Hannah Logan, because it's literally she's on vacation to Greece, and since it also kind of doubles as a travel guide, I think that it's an excellent read for summer. And it's a
Yeah.
romance, it's cute.
I
Wanna
like it.
do the whole review? I think we talked about it in episode 8.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So instead, other book I was going to talk about is called The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. It has 2 point of views, and it takes place in Italy at like this really cute Italian like mansion-y house thing that has like a little courtyard slash pool. And the modern day point of view, it's the girl and her friend. They like go on like a writer's retreat type of thing. I think the main character's like in the midst of a divorce or something, and it's like pretty messy, and so they treat to try to write the next bestseller, but they also realize that there's a little bit of a mystery in the house that involves the second point of view, which takes place in the 70s, where a group of Brits back in the like the rock and roll days
Mhm.
are at the villa because they're trying to write the next best album. So
Oh,
yeah. And it's
interesting.
technically a thriller,
Nice.
I believe, to be good up, since I was so bad at my notes today. Yeah, it's a mystery slash thriller. So, like, even though like I like the vibe of it because it takes place in Italy on like holiday, and then like some like crazy stuff happens at the end.
Mhm.
It's a really I really enjoy Rachel Hawkins.
Nice. This sounds
So
interesting.
yeah,
It
I
does.
like this one too. I like this one.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
So,
Yeah.
Val, what's your
Meh.
next book?
Yeah, my next one is Where You See Yourself by Claire Forrest. So this is a coming of age disability story. So this is kind of like Claire. It's not quite an autobiography because a lot of it is dramatized to a certain point, but it's kind of about her life. It's how would I describe it? So she's disabled. She's been disabled her whole life, and she is a senior in high school, and like the book takes place in her senior year. Um, so she's kind of like retelling herself or like stories about her senior year and how she navigated like going to high school and getting around high school and like going to prom and all of the like major life milestones that you have as a senior, and also figuring out where she wants to go to college because she was dead set on going to a university in New York City, but then she went and toured. God, what's the one in California? Berkeley. She went and toured
Berkeley.
Berkeley in California, which is like one of the most accessible universities in the United States, like hands down. Period. It's where a lot of the disability, like activism started in like the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. They're, I think, the very first accessible like university, or like one of the very first. There's one in Illinois that's also extremely accessible, but like it's just kind of like talking about story or like kind of taking you through her senior year and also like navigating her first relationship and like how that happens as like a disabled person and like going to parties and stuff like that. and again, trying to figure out like how to get into a house that may have stairs, because she lives, I think, in like Michigan or something like that. So a lot of the houses aren't like they are here in Florida, where there's just like one or two stairs. It's like a whole flight of stairs to get into the house, but she primarily uses a wheelchair, you know? So like I don't know, it's told in a very like lighthearted way, and I related to it quite a lot because I saw a lot of myself in her stories as she was telling them. So yeah, I really liked that
I love
book.
that.
And yeah,
Me too.
so that's my second book.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a really great read for, like, I mean, it doesn't matter like what age you read it, but especially like those like going into their senior year of high school, because they're all
Yeah.
everyone's just about thinking the same thing about college and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and there's so many changes and stuff going on, and to add all the different layers. So
Yeah.
I love it. I know I already said that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying it again.
Yeah. I was wrong. She lives in Minneapolis, not Wisconsin or wherever I said Michigan.
Michigan.
There is all the same.
I mean, it starts with M, Minnesota.
Yeah, I was close enough.
You know,
Minneapolis.
it's all good. They have more hills than Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Think
The sentiment stands.
Yeah, they have the
Yeah,
same kind
still
of
work.
houses and whatnot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my second book. Well, you, Allie.
I have a book called Kill Your Husbands by Jack Heath. This is definitely a thriller. It's it's like, yeah, I loved this. I did the audiobook.
Nice.
It's three couples who have been friends since high school. They rent, speaking of vacation, they rent like a cabin or a house up in the mountains to just like decompress and like do whatever. And they're like drinking, no internet, literally no phone service, you know. They're out in the middle of nowhere. But on the first night, the topic of partner swapping comes up, and it's a joke at first. And not everyone is all excited about this idea, right? But the lights will be turned out. It'll be a surprise, right? Whatever. But then the lights come back on, and someone is dead.
Oh no.
And who killed him? It is. Nobody knows who killed him. And no one will admit to who was with him because they were swapping partners, supposedly. But the phones don't work, the car keys are missing, they're stranded, and the killer is just getting started. Bum, bum, bum. It's really good. I really like this story. It flops back and forth between like the detective perspective and then also into like what happened that night. So you're going between like someone who's trying to figure out what's happened and what actually went on. So it's a really good story.
So kind of like an unreliable narrator type situation.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. So it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was like one of my first reads last year, I want to say. It was one of the first ones I got into that was like a thriller, like a full-on thriller. And I enjoyed it immensely. So it's a fun read if you like a darker book. But it's not too dark, I will say. It's not too dark. But it's enough suspense that you're like, oh, who did it? Oh no.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting that you've both chose horror, or not horror, but like thriller so far. I wouldn't necessarily think of a thriller as like a beachy read.
You know, some people are really into that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. I see the appeal.
Well, also, it just really works out that this one happens to be like they're getting away for a weekend trip, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can read this on your getaway weekend trip and imagine that maybe someone might kill you. I don't know. You're never safe.
For all those ladies out there who are into like the serial killer crime shows and
all the true crime podcast.
Yep.
Here's a true crime book, kind of.
Nice. Except it's not true.
So,
it's just crime.
It's not true. It's just crime. Crime and suspects. Who done it?
I just added it to my TBR.
I liked it a lot. It was fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Definitely.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
I sure will when I get to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
eventually. At some point in time.
Yeah, I know you both want me to finish the Throne of Glass series, so I gotta make room
Yeah.
for that at some point.
Well, now my
One
sister-in-law
day
is reading
Val will
it,
be
so
one day Val will be finishing that one.
that's
I've
okay.
read 2 of the books and they were good enough.
They're not comparable to Brandon Sanderson, so
And that's what I came
it's a
straight
different
off
world.
from reading a Brandon Sanderson book, and I read the first book of Throne of Glass like immediately after, so I think
Oof.
that was a letdown
It's a
to
jump
me.
off, yeah. But also,
Yeah.
like, her first one, this could be a whole discussion, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it'll be a different time. Yeah. Who's next? Courtney?
Yeah! Courtney!
Courtney?
Which one do I want to do first?
All of them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do Float Plan by Trish Dollar. This is the one that Lucy actually mentioned on the podcast when she was on. And then she actually recommended it to me again for my mother-in-law, and I ended up picking it up too because I'm like, you know what, this sounds really good. So
Nice.
just like a major trigger warning because it's like literally like up front, first page. It's on the back cover too. The whole point of the book is that the main character goes on, like, takes her late fiance's boat because she wants to travel the Caribbean like they had planned, and it's because he had committed suicide.
Mm.
So that's why
yeah.
she's on the boat.
Yeah.
So, but like obviously we don't see that, but she's trying to experience closure. She's trying to understand like what happened, just like and just like in a general sense, like just
Mhm.
like that confusion of after someone dies or like why did this happen.
Right.
So she goes on this journey to sail from Fort Lauderdale all the way down to Trinidad and Tobago. Is it Tobago?
Tobago.
Tobago,
Trinidad
yeah.
and Tobago. And along the way, she hires this really good-looking, kind Irish man named Keen, and
Mm.
ends up falling in love because he's actually disabled too. So he has a prosthetic on his leg
Mhm.
from an accident. But yeah, along the way, he teaches her how to sail, and I love this book because like you get like a description of most of the islands that they go through, actually all of them. But and it's like the author has been there before. So like she talks about Bimini, and then she talks about Nassau, which not gonna lie, she was kind of hating on Nassau, and I'm like, bruh, like I like Nassau, like I get
Rude.
it, like all the gimmicky tourist shops and stuff, like the diamond peddlers, but like you gotta go to like the straw market, you gotta go to the little Bahamian restaurant that I took Allison to. That's like
That was so
served, like
tasty.
yeah, because like all that was like from family recipes. It
Mhm.
wasn't it's
Yeah.
very classic Bahamian cuisine. You gotta go to like places like that on Nassau, not just that main street. But whatever. But yeah, it's very vacationy. It doesn't have a cat, but it has a pupper.
Nice.
No cat. Can't do it.
No cat. But it has a really cute puppy. So,
That's cute.
That sounds like a good book.
yeah, and like there there are like Christian vibes in this because like the love interest is like a devout Catholic, but is like never in a way that is like pushing the religion onto you or the main character. It's just kind of like she like just appreciates a side of him because this is what he uses to be a good person.
Yeah, and you said he's Irish, right?
Yeah.
So it's very classic, like stereotypical.
Yeah, Irish Catholics are like majority of people in Ireland, I believe, are Catholic or like Catholic adjacent.
Right. But yeah, it's a really good read, especially with that tropical vibe.
Nice.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Highly recommend.
Very nice.
Next.
So
Valerie.
this is actually my last one, but it's 2 books in one. So Becky Chambers has a series called the Monk and Robot series. It's 2 shorter novellas. Book 1 is Psalm of the Wild Built, and book 2 is A Prayer of the Crowned Shy. But actually, back in May, it was just released as one book. So like both books were bundled together in like the same printing. So I think that would be like a good BT read. I really enjoyed these books, and I'm gonna read the blurb because I think it does a really good job of kind of explaining it. It's been centuries since the robots of Panga gained self-awareness and laid down their tools. Centuries since they've wandered en masse into the wilderness, never been to be seen again. Centuries since they faded into myth and urban legend. One day, the life of a tea monk upended the arrival of a robot, there to honor and promise of checking in. The robot cannot go back until the question of what do people need is answered. By the time the answer to that question depends on who you ask and how. They're going to need to ask a lot. Becky Chambers' series asks, in a world where people have everything they want, does having more matter?
I like that brain thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's very it's kind of like a buddy, not buddy cop, but like a two buddies going on an adventure story. One
Yeah.
is a human and a tea monk. So they set up kind of like Tellers of Small Fortunes, how that main character sets up fortunes in their stall to sell fortunes. This main character sells tea, so they set up their little stall. They have tea with people. They hear their stories and all of that fun stuff. And then the robot isn't really supposed to be talking to humans, so it's kind of having to like hide and stuff like that when they go into the town. And the main character is also LGBTQIA. I believe that they are trans. They're non-binary, not trans. So it's a nice little story there.
Yeah.
And the art, I'm looking at the art for the combo book, and it's stunning. The books or the covers for the other books are also very, very nice. This is just like
Remind me the name again.
so the combo is Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
I've
sent you the
seen
link.
this one. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here thinking
Yeah.
it sounds really familiar, and I recognize the cover of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, this printing just came out. It says May 6th, so not that long ago.
Yeah, I really like the cover. It's like the Da Vinci art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks very familiar. So it must have popped up on something for me to
Yeah.
see that.
I read this a year, maybe 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. They're very easy, very cozy, but not like wrap yourself in a blanket cozy. Just kind of like a fun little adventure. There's no real like big stakes.
And it's sci-fi.
It is sci-fi.
Ooh, different.
Yes.
Not the
And
typical
there's like
So I guess we have been
no,
talking about
it's
a
not
lot of
fantasy.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
I feel like Val mostly reads sci-fi. Or at least a good portion of it.
Yeah.
is sci-
Yeah, a good portion is
Yeah.
definitely sci-fi.
Most of mine is
Um,
fantasy more than sci-fi.
Yeah.
Same.
So
I like fantasy too. I think it's like sci-fi, fantasy, and then like thriller are my top 3 categories of
Yeah.
books.
Mm.
And then romance is
I
just
like
like down at the bottom.
See, that's how
I think
sci-fi is.
romance is under everything.
Yeah, no, my fantasy and romance are like neck and neck. They're the
Same.
exact number.
Mine
Yeah.
overlap too much, to be honest. No.
I don't dislike. We've talked about this before. I don't dislike
Yeah.
like romance books. It's just not my preferred genre.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. It took me the
Yeah.
longest time to even get into like any kind of romance books, honestly.
Really?
Mhm.
I not that I refused, but like I was like it's kind of how I felt about romantic comedies. They all follow the same formula.
Mhm.
But then I just kind of found, even though I kind of like that they were predictable, which made them kind of not an easy read, but like a
Predictable read.
ish,
Yeah.
predictable, like
Kind of cozy.
not a lot of kind of cozy. So that's what kind of made me go like, oh, okay, yeah, I like these. So,
See, and that's why I don't like romances, because they are too predictable, and I'm like, oh well, all right, the characters that are introduced in the first like 10 minutes are gonna be the ones that are, gonna be
Yeah.
bonking later.
And that's what I like. I'm like, you two shall be together, but
Yes,
how shall it happen?
Yeah.
What is the backstory? And on that note, I actually have one that I'm going to mention. It's
Give it
another
to
one
us.
by Christina Lauren. I could honestly, any Christina Lauren could go on this list. Any of their books, to be perfectly honest. But I actually did read this one on my cruise. It took me 2 days to read it and finish it. It's called my favorite half night stand. Like I said, it took me 2 cruise days to read and finish it. Very good, very cute. It follows a professor at UC Santa Barbara, and she's like a serial killer expert who is her friend group is mostly guys who are other like professors. And usually they have like a gala or like a black tie gala every year or whatever. And they made basically a pact together that they're gonna do an online dating service just to find a +1 for the event. But after they made this like agreement, to the girl and one of her guy friends end up having a half night stand on accident.
So
And they're
when you
like,
first said first or half nightstand, I was like, what's someone sawing a nightstand in half for?
I just want half of the nightstand.
I was like, that's weird. Ellie
Valerie!
will explain.
That's hilarious.
My God.
That is the premise
Listen.
of this book. All they talk about is my favorite half of a nightstand.
They have to share a nightstand and they're bickering over who goes over which half.
Oh my God.
It's 300 pages. Oh my gosh.
The corner of your eyeglasses is on my half of the nightstand. How dare you?
How dare you? Oh jeez.
Anyway, continue.
Oh my gosh. Anywho, after their sexiest half nightstand ever, they mutually decide that they just want to be like friends, right? But do they? So then she starts unfortunately experiencing the online dating scene, which is so exciting. She's not getting great matches. She's getting a lot of lovely pictures and creepers. So she decides, okay, I'm gonna scrub it and I'm gonna make a new one with this like persona that she's calling Catherine, right? So this is her. And she eventually like meets another guy on there, Reed, and they strike up a pen pal, but she can't like Reed is the friend that she had the half night stand with. But it just goes from there. It's really cute. I like it. I was kind of dragging on, so kind of a little bit, yeah. And I don't remember if she, to be totally honest, I don't remember if she initially knows that it's Reed or if something happens and she finds out. I'm not 100%. I might have just given something away. Sorry, guys. But it's a good book.
Spoilers.
Description. It's on the back cover. You're fine. I mean that's what's happening is that they start talking over a dating
So she
app,
does. He doesn't. Okay. Yes.
but we don't know how.
Yes.
It just says that they do.
Yeah. I don't remember specifics, but I really enjoyed the book. I flew through it, obviously.
Nice.
You know when you said, but do they? Danny looked over at me and being like, yeah, right. He gave me that look like, yeah, okay.
Sure.
It was so good. I was like, sure.
And in the end of the story, they get together and they argue about their half of the nightstand.
Spoilers.
I don't know why my
just-
brain went there. Courtney, what's your next book?
My next book. Okay, it's called Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca.
Another horror?
Actually, it's not horror. I mean, there's spooky stuff, but it's not horror. It's actually a romance.
Oh.
You said horror, and it's another misunderstanding. I didn't hear the R, so it just sounded like another horror.
Another whore.
Another one.
Another one. Yeah, no, horror is not listed as a genre for this. I just double checked. It's a romance, although it does count as a fantasy, and it's, I think, because of all the ghosts. Plot twist with ghost. Yeah.
There's ghosties.
So it takes place in Florida and is in a fictional town called Boneyard Key, which from what I understand it makes it seem like it's like a cross between like classic Florida Keys with like a ton of history, and but it's located somewhere like on the Gulf Coast, like Cedar Key maybe.
Mm.
But we got a girl from Orlando. She's either 29 or 30. She is like right around there. Who's feeling like a outcast from her friend group because they're all getting married / having babies and don't really have time to hang out anymore or do the same things that they used to back in their 20s.
Mhm.
So and she doesn't have that yet. So she decides to move away from Orlando and buys this beautiful mansion at a great price, and it's because it's haunted. Or at
Nice.
least
Because of the ghosts.
it's because of the ghosts.
Ooh.
Rumor has it it's haunted. So then the story just goes into the history of the island and its fascination with ghosts, since it's called Boneyard Key, and she makes friends with the cafe guy since the ghost won't let her work at home remotely.
Oh,
Just
no.
go find Wi-Fi somewhere else. So she has to keep going to his cafe. And oh, hi Bella. She just came in and said hello. She's like, Mom, why are you still in here? But and I love the guy. He's a super green flag, but just so you know, you definitely have to get through the end of it, before you call me a liar. Because ghosts. So
Interesting.
my favorite quote from the book is is knowing someone's public sub order was important. It was a key insight into their character. And I'm like, facts. Yes.
True.
Yes. For anyone that doesn't know, public subs are like a cornerstone of being a Floridian.
Correct.
They
Everyone
truly
has
are.
a public sub favorite sub.
It's true.
Mine is the roast beef with Swiss, tomatoes, black olives.
Black olives.
Yes.
Oh,
A little bit of lettuce, onion, vinegar, and oil.
Nice.
shaking my
Yep.
head at you.
That's my sub order. In case anybody was
sounds-
wondering.
That sounds heinous, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
Rude. That's
See,
so rude.
it has two of my least favorite things: olives and vinegar.
It's
Fair.
amazing.
And I also don't
love
eat
it.
roast beef, so
So it's got 3 of them.
It's super heinous.
yeah. And I don't really like Swiss cheese. I just don't really like most of the things in your sandwich.
You don't. Okay, so then that means I don't have to worry about you ever eating my sub sandwich, and that's a
Correct,
problem for
yeah.
you.
No, that's more for you. As long as you enjoy it, I don't care what you eat. I mean, as long as it's not like
Swiss
humans, but you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean. So yeah, I'm
Do
a
I?
classic buffalo chicken tender sub girly.
That sounds
For
terrible.
mine, because you wait, what? Oh, Alice doesn't like spicy.
I do. I just don't like their chicken tendies that much. That's a lie. I like their chicken tendies. I'm very picky about them, and I hate it because every once in a while I'll get like a little chewy piece, and I don't like it. It's because then when you have it on a sub, you can't pick it out because they're all just bunched together in the sub, and then you get it, and it's just a sad day, and I hate it.
That's fair. I hate that too.
I've thought about this a lot, so you know.
That's just for all chicken tenders. They have that. They have the tender, like the tendon.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't really avoid it when it's put into a sub by someone that's not you, because you're not looking out for it. Does that make sense?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay.
My pub sub changes on the daily because I work there, and it's really whatever I'm craving that day. And there's a lot of good
that
options.
tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. I like the Sausalito turkey as well.
Yeah,
I'll get the Italian.
Good. See,
Yeah.
I like the oven gold turkey with honey mustard.
Ooh, that sounds
Interesting.
good.
Yeah, it is really good.
I pretty much
also...
just get the same thing, but Italian meat instead of roast beef sometimes.
Nice.
With your olives and vinegar.
I love olives.
Stinky.
They're delicious.
They're stinky.
I was the olive finger kid.
I knew it.
That tracks.
You know, I was asked once by my aunt. She was getting us candy or whatever, and so we were at the store, and she's like, "What candy do you guys want?" And of course, they pick your typical actual candy, and what do I pick? A can of black olives.
Of course you did.
Allison.
and I ate them.
Incredible.
Yep, that was me.
My lord.
Yeah,
My
great.
mom likes olives.
Yeah. Hence, the Publix sub, like
That explains it
the
from
importance,
earlier.
the importance of the Publix sub order.
The Publix. It
True.
tracks. The connections make sense now.
Yep, that's why you're like, it's coming back up later.
Yep, pretty much. I was like,
And there
like,
it
you don't have
is.
to cut that out because it's gonna come back up later. Yeah, I think did we get it all?
No,
What?
Allie has
I got
another
one
one,
more.
I think.
Allison has
I
another
have one more. Uno
Go.
mas.
Another one.
Do it. Uno mas.
Oh no,
Vamos.
what is it?
Woo! It's called Fellowship of Bakers and Magic by Jay Penner.
Oh.
And it is like the Great British Baking Show, but with humans and dwarves and elves. And they get entered into a bake-off, and it's adorable, and I love it.
This has been on my TBR for a very long time.
You need to read it, because you're the one who told me about it.
I know.
And
I'm mad
it is
that you
so
read it
cute.
before I did.
I know. That's your fault.
Well, yeah, that is my fault.
But it's so cute because like it's like the girl, because like the human is kind of like at a, what do you call that when she's like not, she has a disadvantage almost because she
Mhm.
works like twice as hard to perfect it to make it equivalent to like the elves and the other like the magical people. So her neighbor like secretly enters her creations into the Elven Baking Battle is what it's called. And she gets in, and she gets into it, and it's just such a cute, like, it's a competition story, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. It's a fun read. I loved it, and it was so cozy.
The second one's coming out or is out?
I think it's coming out. I need to look that up actually.
Librarians and Dragons, the Fellowship of Gnomes and Fables, Fellowship of Curses and Cats.
What?
Cats.
Is this the same author?
Yeah, it's Addenshire number 1, 2, 3, 4.
What? Sorry, that was loud.
Everyone's looking it up right now.
Yes. I thought I thought they, I don't know, just had the one.
No. I knew there was the second one coming out. I didn't know about 3 and 4. Oh yeah, book 2 came out last year. Book 3 is coming out this year.
What?
Book 4
Oh my
said
God.
2025.
Okay, guys.
I'm just saying she has recipes posted on her website.
Oh, excellent.
She does.
But guys, book number 4, literally the first line of the description says, "When life gives you cats, open a cafe."
Oh my gosh.
All right, sold.
Yeah.
Yay. Anywho, she's a great author. It's really cute, fun story, very cozy, highly recommend. And if there might be 4 of them, it looks like. So
yeah, it looks like books 3 and 4 are coming out this year, according to Swordcraft. I don't know if that's true.
Ooh,
they both say 2025.
Looks like
so
the
exciting.
third one is June 20th, and number 4 is November 4th.
Oh.
Ooh. A Fellowship of Games and Fables.
So just a couple days ago it came out. Book 3.
Yeah. Oh, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Book 3 is. So that means book 2 probably is too.
Yeah. I'm sure book 1 is too. But you already read that.
That's how I read it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I did. Librarians and Dragons. Oh yeah. Guess
well,
what
Ellie
I'm
knows
reading
what
soon.
she's reading.
That's exciting.
Nice.
You just made my night.
Welcome.
So, yeah.
Nice. Is that all the books?
I think so.
I think so.
Vacation book reads? Woo!
Vacation must reads. Bunch of cozies, some scaries, some romances, some...
I love that. Some cozies and some
all the
scaries.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some growing upsies.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Very
we have
nice.
a couple announcements. Bookshop.org, you know the spiel. If you want to check out our page, you're supporting the podcast and your favorite local bookseller. So that is great. And then our next book club is going to be Heretical Fishing. This is an Allison pick.
Allison.
Haylock Jobson is the name of the author.
Yep.
I love his name.
That
I don't.
that
It's just it's a
episode-
name.
that episode would be August 8th.
Yeah,
Dang.
August 8th. Wow,
I know. Coming up so soon.
crazy.
Can't believe it's already
It
June.
is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so book clubs, couple episodes, August 8th. So, I'm excited to read it. Allie, I know this is one of
too.
your 5 stars, so, I'm excited to read it.
It's a fun book.
Yeah.
I might read the second one before then, but I don't know if I want to because I don't want to accidentally say stuff that's not in the first one.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Very fair.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to be careful.
Yeah. I had that
So
issue with like Trust of the Emerald Sea because I'm like, wait, which is actually interest and what's not interest and what's just in like other books I've read.
yeah, it's like I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
So,
But it'll be good.
but yeah,
I'm excited to read it.
y'all should read it. Y'all meaning others because I know you two will read it.
It's like,
It's true.
duh.
It's kind of required.
Indeed.
It's true.
Hey,
Alrighty. Well, thanks for listening. Happy reading.
yeah. Happy reading. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Books I Read with My Cat. You can find us on social media at BookCatPod, and if you have any ideas or feedback, feel free to give us an email at bookcatpod@gmail.com. Happy reading!